You are now in the Black Box. Whoa. With Spider Loke, Most Easty, a.k.a. VJ Keyway, and the Google Gang. Let's go!
Snake Net Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spider Loke. You know I'm in the Black Box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Jeter. Gratitude is the attitude. This show is a blessing to be back in this Black Box as we blow us a session. The constant, consistent, continuous content creation campaign continues. Elder of the 7 Seas as we navigate upon those 7 seas. I'm the captain of the ship, SPI Easty, a.k.a. VJ Keyway, Mr. 1597 himself. I think I'm going to add another thing on to this whole little thing we got going on. This sessions that we have in the Black Box, we're going to start calling it R&R. This is a time for a little R&R, especially these type segments until we develop some others. R&Rs for random reactions, because we don't just react to this type of content, that type of content. We react to a large variety of random content. So when we do this, it's time for some R&R. This reaction comes from Block Archives. I believe the name is the YouTube channel if you want to hear. Just see it uncut. But the title is Her Life Became the Role She Played Getting Killed by Crips. Tara Correa. McMullen's story. With no further ado, let's see what Tara has been up to.
Tara Correa. McMullen was one of those bright lights you just couldn't miss. Young, talented, and full of life, she had that natural spark that made people stop and pay attention. People really started noticing her when she played Graciela Reyes, a gang-affiliated teen on the show Judging Amy. It was one of those roles where art started blurring into life a little too closely. On screen, she was rising fast. Off screen, though, life had other plans, and the ending came way too soon. But before she became the girl everyone was watching, she was just a kid with big dreams. Tara was born in Westminster, Vermont, to Mary Deborah Correa and Thomas McMullen. In 1996, her mom packed up with Tara and her older sister Abigail, heading for Southern California. They eventually landed in Venice, Los Angeles. But that move wasn't all sunshine. Times were tough at first. Tara and her mom stayed in low-budget hotels, trying to make ends meet while her mom picked up work at a casting agency, chasing something better for the little family. But Tara wasn't just talented, she was a force. She was playing piano at 4, already diving into martial arts, and by the time she hit Claremont Middle and then Venice High, she was already carving out her space. That's where she met her ride or die, Morris Tipton. According to him, they were joined at the hip. Hollywood Boulevard, pictures with the costume characters, late night adventures, they did it all together. They weren't just friends, they were soul siblings. Music ran deep in her too. She sang in the school choir, danced every chance she got, and loved performing in any form. Family meant everything, especially her bond with Abigail. Whenever the family got together.
Damn, I love you, Auntie Abby. My favorite family member she passed last year, Abigail, Auntie Abby.
You'd find them singing side by side, just vibing in their own little world. And Tara had that energy you can't teach, the kind that just lights up a room. Didn't matter who you were, she made you feel seen, made you feel loved. No ego, just pure, genuine vibes. That's what made her stand out. She had big dreams, a serious drive, and this spark that made everyone around her believe in her. But fate had other plans. Tara's journey into acting didn't start in any fancy way. It came out of nowhere like a fast break on the court. One minute she's just doing her thing, and the next she's got a role in a Martin Lawrence movie called Rebound. What made it wild was that she wasn't out here chasing auditions or anything. It all popped off because her mom, Deborah McMullen, happened to be working at a casting spot where people were stressing heavy over not being able to find the right girl for this role. That's when Deborah looked up and was like, hold up, what about my daughter? They needed a girl who could hoop for real, someone who had size and could hang with the boys, but still brought that soft, sweet energy to the screen. tomboy with heart, basically. Deborah thought about it more and more and realized Tara checked every box without even trying. So they brought Tara in, and the moment the producers saw her, it was like instant chemistry. No acting experience, no training, but that on-camera
That's a dope story.
magic was just there. It was natural. Now Rebound itself was that classic underdog sports movie. A bunch of scrappy kids nobody believed in, going nowhere fast, until this loudmouth college coach, Ray McCormick, gets forced to lead them.
Oh, my mama watched this movie. I ain't never seen it. Sound like the Bad News Bears concept, but I'm gonna have to watch it.
Ray, played by Martin Lawrence, was all ego and temper. Dude was wildin', threw a ball so hard at the opposing team, it knocked out their mascot's bird, then skipped out on coaching a game just to pose for Details magazine. He was more into endorsements than the scoreboard. The league was ready to...
I don't know how I missed this. I thought I saw all Martin Little side comedy movies on my mama.
kick him to the curb, but his agent had a plan. He figured if Ray cleaned up his image by coaching a struggling middle school team, maybe, just maybe, he could bounce back. So Ray ends up coaching the Smelters.
Was he Ray or was he Claude in Life? They call him Martin Ray. I think he was Ray in Life too.
The saddest squad you've ever seen. Forget plays and passing drills. These kids looked like they were playing blindfolded dodgeball. Even Tom Arnold jumped in just to clown them on TV. Among that whole crew of misfits, one kid really stood out. Big Mac. That was Tara's character, and she owned that court like she'd been born with a basketball in her hand. She had this tough, no-nonsense vibe, but deep down, there was a softness to her, especially when it came to Wes. The quiet kid coach was always trying to toughen up. And her story didn't stop when Rebound hit theaters in 2005. After that, people started paying attention. Not long after, she scored a role on Judging Amy, a big-time TV show that even racked up some Emmy nominations. Judging Amy was one of those early 2000s courtroom dramas that hit different. It followed this woman, Amy, a Harvard grad and hotshot New York lawyer who suddenly switched it all up. She left the big city behind, moved back home with her mom and daughter in Hartford, Connecticut, and became a juvenile court judge. The real pull? Her mom worked in child welfare, so the cases Amy saw in court were often the same ones her mom had been dealing with on the streets. Real life problems, real families, and that constant tension between law and love. Now, in the middle of all that, enters Tara Correa McMullen, playing a gang-affiliated teen named Graciela. She wasn't just some extra in the background either. She brought so much raw energy to the role that the writers started building whole storylines around her. There was one scene where, instead of giving her a fine for carrying a knife, Judge Amy told her to hug her mom, and it hit hard because Tara brought something real to that role. Thing is, Tara was just 15 when she was cast. Off screen, she was still a baby, dreaming big about Hollywood. And for a minute, it looked like Hollywood loved her back. Her star was rising, but what nobody saw coming was the slow turn her real life started to take. Her mom, Deborah, finally got them a stable spot to live, and Tara even had her bedroom. She got signed to an agency, but that new life came with a new zip code, and the streets don't care about your IMDb credits. Tara ended up in one of those neighborhoods that seemed chill during the day, but flipped the script at night. Thing is, she could vibe with anybody, on set or off. That chameleon energy that made her a star, it helped her move through the block like she belonged. But this was gang territory, and her best friend Morris started picking up on...
Damn, them look like the homies. I hope them ain't the homies. Oh no, I think them some 6-0s. But sometimes they just be grabbing pictures. and using them. But I wonder if this really the 60 she got caught up with. Let's see.
Something. Tyra was changing. The same types of roles she was playing on screen, she was now hanging with those kinds of people for real. Morris said she wasn't deep in the streets, not out here gangbanging, but she was definitely caught up, rolling with the wrong crowd, drifting from where she was supposed to be. Things got real when Deborah found out her daughter was dating a dude 10 years older, already deep in the gang world and with a rap sheet to match. Deborah didn't just sit back. She called the cops over and over, trying to get him away from Tyra. She said they knew her voice on the line, like it was just another routine call. Nothing changed, nobody stepped in. By early 2005, Tyra was just 16 and moved into her own spot in Inglewood. Her mom begged her to come live in Glendale instead, but Tyra wasn't trying to leave. That man she was with had her locked in emotionally, maybe even physically. Morris said Tyra once confessed he'd locked her in a room and threatened her if she left. She looked into her friend's eyes with this blank stare. None of that light, none of that spark. Now, Tyra wasn't repping any set herself, but she cared about somebody who was. She got caught up trying to help, trying to ride for somebody she thought had her back. Then she missed Morris's birthday. The next day, she showed up at his door, face bruised, wearing all red, and said she'd been forced in. She lifted her shirt just enough to show the fresh tattoo above her heart, the mark of the gang. It was real now. Helen Shaver, the show's director, saw that same tattoo the next day on set. Tyra looked exhausted, like she hadn't slept. Helen said it hit her like a punch. This was a kid with Hollywood at her feet, now branded with something permanent, something dangerous. Right after that, the show offered her more episodes. A regular teen would have jumped at it, but Tyra looked Helen dead in the eye and said she couldn't promise she'd be there. Said she might be dead, and that wasn't drama. That was real life creeping into the studio. Still, she showed up, always did, even when her world was falling apart. Cindy Osbrink, her agent back then, said things started getting rocky. Tyra began missing auditions, so the agency let her go. Then she came back, asking for another shot. They gave it to her. But when she ghosted one more audition, that was it. They dropped her for good. But even in the middle of all that,
MC8, on his first single that I remember, one of them was The Hood Take 'Em Under. Like, he been telling us, like, so much potential that the hood would choke out. This is the same old story. Damn, LA and young celebrities, so many have had this story. It's crazy.
that chaos, Tyra started trying to get her life back on track. Every Sunday, she was at church no matter what. You could see she was searching for peace, for something bigger than herself. But life, especially when you're young and caught in a world you weren't built for, doesn't always give you the time to find it. On October 21st, 2005, right outside some apartments on East Plymouth Street in Inglewood, deep in Centinela Park family blood territory, where anyone from the rolling 60s wasn't exactly getting a warm welcome, 4 people were hanging out: Jonathan Turnage, Jakar Smith, Tara McMullen, and a guy named Crips, who was claimed by the Centinela Park Bloods. Out of nowhere, a gray truck with no plates rolls up, no headlights, just creeping. Then Damian Watts hops out. People on the street knew him as Little Chopper, and that name wasn't just for show. He was strapped with an AK-47 military grade. Another guy jumps out too, letting shots fly with a handgun. Bullets everywhere. Turnage and Smith get hit, but pulled through. Sadly, Tyra didn't make it. Cops pull up to the scene and spot AK shell casings all over the ground. They also found a blue shirt left behind. Now Turnage, the guy who got hit that night, pointed the finger at Watts as the shooter. Not once, but twice. Says he recognized him instantly. Damian? He was just 23, but already on the cops' radar for other shootings. And word on the street, he'd been on a wild 2-day rampage leading up to that night, Now rewind to the day before, October 20th, around 5:17 p.m. Over in South Central at a spot on 84th Street, Andre and Lester Turner were outside their granddad's house, fixing up a car with a friend. This area was 8-tray gangster Crip turf, and both Turner brothers were part of that set. That's when a gray truck stops 2 houses down. Some dudes in hoodies.
They dug you out of the same thing. Y'all supposed to get another thing. Or was that probably somebody's personal thing? It just needs to be on one at a time. It get like that. Oh, my mama. I done had a hot car before in the middle of a war. It's a story for another time, though. Oh, my mama.
Jump out and start walking up. Andre says, "What's up?" They say it back and then just start dumping. One of them had a rifle, spraying shots like it was a war zone. Luckily, nobody got hit, but bullets tore through the front yard and the house. After that, the shooters laughed, ran back to their truck, and dipped. A neighbor, Fred Johnson, witnessed the whole thing. He ID'd Damian Watts as one of the shooters 4 separate times.
That's easier to take than an active member telling.
Meanwhile, Andre Turner told Officer Mendoza he saw who lit up his block. Said it was Chopper from the Rolling 60s. Told them he knew exactly who it was, but made it real clear he wasn't about to get on that stand. Even said detectives show him a 6-pack photo lineup earlier that day, and Watts was one of them. Turner recognized him from jail, said he knew he was 60 and that his street name was Chopper. But when it came time to point fingers officially, Turner froze. Another dude in the room had flashed him a gang sign. No words, just a warning. After that, Turner shut down. Wouldn't sign anything, wouldn't even pick anyone out as the shooter. But the madness didn't stop there. Less than 10 minutes after the Turner house got hit, another shooting went down about a mile away on Halldale Avenue. Paul Fry and Thomas Sanders were at a relative's house getting into their car. Fry was affiliated with the Bounty Hunters, who were Crip rivals, so being in 8-tray territory was already risky. Just as they were getting in the car, a man with a gun approached, but the weapon jammed. As he ran off, another guy pulled up with an AK and started firing. Sanders didn't survive. Fry got hit, but lived to tell the story. Robin Sanders, Thomas's aunt, heard the shots and rushed to the porch. She caught sight of a silver truck speeding away. When police combed both scenes, they found 35 shell casings. Out of those, 30 came from the same AK rifle, linking the Halldale and Turner shootings to the same weapon. Then, the very next day, October 22nd, cops pulled over a silver truck. Inside were Damian Watts, Percy Williams, another Rolling 60s guy.
Them niggas burnt out. Oh, my. They just in that thing rolling.
And Joseph Jones. They found a live 9mm round in the vehicle. That truck, everyone who'd seen the shootings said it matched. Fred Johnson saw it peel off from the Turner hit. Robin Sanders saw it after her nephew was gunned down. Claudia Regalado, who witnessed the Plymouth Street shooting, said that was the same truck used there too. But when it got to court, things got murky. Turnage, the same dude who got shot and had pointed Watts out twice before, started switching up. In court, looking at Damian face to face, he claimed the guy in front of him didn't look like the shooter. The defense threw up a photo from Watts' arrest and asked again. Turnage shrugged it off and said it still didn't look like him. Then they asked straight up if Damian was the one who got out of the truck and fired that AK. Turnage said no, it didn't look like him. But Robin Sanders, she stood on what she saw.
Was that the Magic Johnson Theater? I was just asking.
Told the court police had taken her to where Watts got picked up and the silver truck they showed her. She said that was the same one that sped off right after her nephew got shot. Just when it seemed like Watts might slip through the cracks, a fresh perspective or more accurately, a nose, was about to turn everything upside down. Christos Charalambos had been holding it down with the Buena Park Police Department for 17 years, and by this point, he wasn't just any cop. He was part of the K-9 unit, working side by side with bloodhounds trained to track people down by their scent. Now here's what's wild. Just like everybody's fingerprints are one of a kind, so is their scent. And these bloodhounds, they could sniff out the difference like it was nothing. Back in 2004, Officer Charalambos dove deep into the science of scent collection, learning how to use this tool called a
Sound like junk science to me. Gonna hang a nigga on some bullshit. Oh, my mama.
STU, basically a scent vacuum, to gather human scent from crime scenes. He got so cold with it, he ended up training others on it, even the FBI. Over time, he used that thing 200 or 300 times, pulling scent off shirts, shell casings, whatever was at the scene. The dog would then match what was on that scent pad to whatever trail was out in the real world and get to work. On October 21st, 2005,
if that's so effective, why stop at just a few hundred incidents? Why didn't catch wildfire in every department adopted? That's some bullshit.
at the scene of the third shooting on East Plymouth Street, Charalambos showed up with the STU 100 in hand. He pulled scent samples from a blue shirt and from a bullet casing, collecting them on clean little pads. He was really careful with it too, making sure nothing got contaminated. When he was done, he passed the scent pads to forensics, who stored them in a fridge to keep them fresh. 2 days later, on October 23rd, they took those scent pads and ran them through a scent lineup at the 77th Street station. That's where a bloodhound named Enya came into play. She wasn't just any dog. She was trained and certified to pick up the scent off bullet casings.
Trained and certified to make a decision on a nigga freedom. That's crazy.
Handler, Irvin Rayburn, a retired officer from El Monte with 3 decades on the force, was no rookie either. The last 7 years of his career had been all about dogs, and he trained directly under some of the best in the field. Rayburn had been working with Enya since 2000, helping her get tight with tracking down people just by their smell. By the time this case came around, Enya had done somewhere between 120 and 130 scent trails, and as far as Rayburn knew, she never missed. At the station, Detective Lane asked Rayburn to have Enya run the scent from the blue shirt. He told him someone they were looking at was already inside the building, but didn't say where. Rayburn didn't want to know either. He wanted the dog to lead, not his assumptions. So he got Enya harnessed up with a 15-foot leash and gave her the scent pad from the blue shirt. She took a sniff and got to work, moving through the station like she already knew what time it was. She hit the elevators, went to the 2nd floor, passed through a bunch of hallways, and ended up right in the homicide bureau. Then she stopped at a door that was barely cracked open, tail wagging hard. When Rayburn opened it, Enya walked straight in, right up to Damien Watts, nudged him, and sat down. That was her signal. She had locked on. They moved Watts to another location in the station not long after. Rayburn had no idea where. About 15 minutes later, they gave Enya a new scent pad, this one from the bullet casing. She started at the homicide office, followed the trail down the stairs, through a few doors, and into the lobby. From there, she went straight to an interview room, pushed through the door, and jumped right into Damien Watts' lap. Second ID, locked in. When all this went to court, the defense didn't even bother trying to fight what the officer said about the dog's performance. And it all came to a head in January 2009 when the jury came back with a guilty verdict. Watts was hit with 2 counts of first-degree murder for the deaths of Tara Correa McMullen and Thomas Sanders, plus extra charges, firing into a home, being a felon with a gun, and gang enhancements. On top of all that, they hit him with a multiple murder charge tied to 3 shootings in just 2 days. By February 2009, Damian Watts got hit with a life sentence, no chance of parole. Last we heard, he's still doing his time at Calipatria State Prison, serving every single minute. When it came time to say goodbye to Tara, it wasn't just her family who showed up. It was everybody, her friends, the Hollywood people she worked with, even people who barely knew her but felt her light, and that's what made it hit so hard. This wasn't some girl who just got lost in the streets. She was in the middle of chasing her dreams, trying to make something real happen. From the time she was 4, banging on piano keys, to always dancing, always singing, performing was just in her blood. She didn't fake that, it was who she was. What really stood out, even as her stars started to rise, she never switched up. While filming Rebound, instead of kicking it with the cast like she was too cool, she'd be out eating lunch with the crew, like the real MVPs behind the scenes. That was just her vibe, humble, down to earth, never acting like she was better than anyone.
And that was her downfall. She should have treated herself better, been better. Oh, my mama.
On her 15th birthday, the crew even surprised her with a cake. Her friend Maurice, who was 18 back then, said she'd already been through some heavy stuff, things that could have dimmed anyone's light, but not her. She still had a big heart, always putting others first. She just wanted to feel seen. And yeah, sometimes that meant looking for love in the wrong places, hoping to find something that wasn't there. Amy Brenneman, who played Judge Amy, saw the magic in her from the jump. Said Tara had this natural charisma, like she had a little Queen Latifah in her. But what really hit, Amy wasn't even shocked when the news came. It was more like she'd been bracing for it. The streets had been pulling Tara in, and Hollywood just couldn't compete with that kind of grip. There was hope she might break through, but it never outweighed the danger that was creeping up on her. Amy talked about how teenagers always need somewhere to feel safe and to be themselves. They tried to give that to Tara on set, but it didn't land. She found that feeling somewhere else, with the streets, with people who showed her loyalty, even if it came with chaos. And it's wild how her real life started to mirror the characters she played. Like at one point it wasn't acting anymore, it was real. At her memorial, things got real heavy. Her sister Abigail tried to sing Amazing Grace, but the weight of it all hit her hard. She broke down in the middle of the song and walked off saying she just couldn't do it. That kind of raw grief filled the room. Tara's story lingers. It stays with you. She had all the makings of a star, but her life got cut off by something senseless, something too many young black and brown kids face every day. Her story ain't just sad, it's a wake-up call, a reminder that talent alone isn't enough to outrun what's waiting in the streets. And when someone like Tara, with all that light and potential, gets taken out by a bullet, it ain't just her loss, it's ours too. What are your thoughts on this story? Appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe for more.
I can't think without a whole zone. It's almost gone, but don't think about the ozone. I ain't ate all day, but I'm so blown. Tell the DJ to throw on a slow song. My life is what the po-po press for. South Central is so stressful. In the city of the bombest herbs, the only way to loc know the calmest nerves. Females say I'm a conceited nothing, no good, only call when in need of something. It's a thin line between the love and the lust. Should never have young cuz in the cuffs. Gotta be cool with them first advances, working in these uncertain circumstances. Fake ballin' had you broke with a buzz. Pump your brakes, come smoke one with us, and we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us.
Come on, come on.
Come smoke one with us.
Come on.
And we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Come smoke one with us. I get high as the heights that I'm reaching to. Put a few in the air for Big Meech and Blue. Grind hard through the middle of the night. Shit, I might see a little of the light. I never sleep, barely get some rest. I swallow my blood before I hit some stress. Roscoe's on the east, a hit to west for jacks. Pockets fat, I just hit for racks. Yeah, that's where I can get some clothes at 2. It's already 1 and it closed at 2. Fast lane, ballin' out, racing the range. Gangbanger, all about chasing the change. I'm icy, judge and the jury ain't trying to see the judge and the jury. Eastie represent the E&S, but I still Baymac like BMF. And we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Come smoke one with us.
Come on.
And we can get high, y'all. Never know
When we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Listen, come smoke. Hey, look. Get money every day like it's no thing. Buy a zone of that cushion, smoke the whole thing. Rolled up deuces, carry 4-5. Off a half a gram of kush, but we so high. South Central where they murder with no alibi. Do walk-ups and don't respect drive-bys. We some young killers, still some fly guys. Neighborhood near Puzzle and SPI. We rich roller coaster crippin', that's our lifestyle. And that explains why my neck and wrist iced out. Smoke big blunts, ride luxury. A nigga beat his bitch up cause she was fucking me. And then I beat the pussy up and told her it'll be alright, just tell me every time he mention me. Yeah, and that's just how it's meant to be. It's an in-hood thing, Slauson after century.
And we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Come smoke one with us. And we can get high, y'all. Never know when we gon' die, y'all. Come smoke one with us. Come smoke one with us.
Come on. Neighborhood Net Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
It's the homie cook-up boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch!
My nigga Spotter Low.
Spider Loke, nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke, that's my nigga.
Spider Low. Spider Low.
Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing what he's doing.
In the words of Spider Loke on my mama's mama.
Spider Loke's gear. This is Bay Mac.
Nate Blood, C-Mac, shout out my Loke, Spider Loke, cuz. Nate Blood, on hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, Crips.
Point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my
continue.
competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
You are now in the black box. Whoa! With Spider Loke, Most Eastie, aka BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang. Let's go!